So, hello again. So it's been a while since we've talked. Basically about 5 years, really, since we've actually started to do these videos again. Lots of things have happened. We do have tons of footage from our journey here from California to Idaho, where we now live. That will be some prequel episodes coming regarding some of that stuff, and when we were 4 years younger, 5 years. But
right,
lots of things.
For now, we're just gonna start editing and filming stuff that we're doing right now, is to not overwhelm ourselves with all the footage. So we will get those episodes edited and placed on here for you all to see. And you'll see the age jump from the kids, because when we first got here, our baby Jack was 3 and Zoe was 5. And since we've been here, we had Liberty. She's our little 3-year-old now. So Zoe and Jack have gotten so much older, and Liberty's new to you all. So we'll show those old videos, but you'll get to see them now.
Right, and they're able to help a lot more now that they're much older, and able to help with a lot of the things we're going to be doing here now, which we've kind of starting to up our game. Big plans coming with our trees being removed. Some of our gigantic trees we're having a lumber company come in to help us to clear some of them so we can open up garden spaces. We need more sunlight here, and we're planning on moving in the direction of opening up a market garden with our family. Hopefully by next year, at least, God willing, we'll do that. A lot of work going on, you know, we're getting more animals and all that kind of stuff. So
we have a beautiful property, and it's almost 3 acres. We moved here because it was so gorgeous and wooded, and we just could see all these beautiful trees off of our nice deck. And more recently, you know, we've been trying to figure out how to sustain ourselves income-wise, and the right idea seemed to be for us to start a garden, a farm garden. One where you can go to the market and we can sell what we grow. But our beautiful treed property does not really leave room for a lot of sun. So instead of moving, because right now buying a house is literally impossible. We have a house, thank God, but a different house, my gosh, the prices are skyrocketed, as everybody probably knows. So we are gonna retrofit our own property to make it work for a lot of gardening and farming. And therefore, that is why many of these trees, these beautiful trees, are just gonna have to be removed, but it's a good thing. It's gonna turn our property into some really serious functional land, so that's good. As you may know, we used to live in Southern California, and we were married on TV, and we had a completely different outlook on life, where I wanted to be famous. And so it's kind of funny to think about where we used to be and the things that were important to us and where we are now. We went from being, my opinion, pretty self-absorbed and pretty selfish to, you know, landowners and farmers, and we actually process chickens as well. Something I never thought I would ever do. We have 3 beautiful children, and we've made some incredible changes as to what our values and morals are. Of course, we believe in God and we follow His lead, and that's always been our focus. But now, my goodness, God has really taken us into a different light. 3 weeks ago, I thought we should get this YouTube channel thing going on again and show you all the changes that have come in our life. Funny, I was gonna do a video. I had this video in mind that we're gonna sit in front of the RV, and then we're gonna do a tour on the inside of the RV, because we haven't really showed you what we did. We painted it, we took out furniture, we did a lot of fun stuff, and that will come in our prequel videos. But for right now, I thought, hey, let's just give them a peek at the RV and then show them our property and say, hey, you know, this is what we're doing now. So then, just about 2 weeks ago, Jimmy says to me that he thinks that we should sell the RV. We have to take down these trees, and we need to get in a greenhouse, and we need to do some major changes to the land to put in a bunch of new gardening beds. So here we are in front of the RV, not telling you about how cool it is to have it still, telling you that we're gonna sell it. So, but that's okay. It's blessed us, and so hopefully it could bless some others. There's a lot of people having a hard time finding homes right now, so we figured, you know, we lived in it and it was wonderful. So it's a good, huge, nice RV for living in.
So originally our plan was to travel in this thing when we moved here, and that changed when we finally got to Idaho, because it was a crazy winter, and I had to learn on the fly how to live like basically in an Arctic zone with a desert vehicle, and it was literal hell for a little bit, for some of it. originally our YouTube channel was called Riches to Roads, because that's what we were doing. We were hitting the road, and we were taking this gigantic 41-foot beast with us everywhere we were going and living in it. But now it's not really the right term for what we're doing now, so our channel has changed to
Riches to Rural,
which I thought was great, because Brooke always comes up with the better terms for things. I wanted to call it something else, like Tamarack Tunnels or something. But yeah, that's why I don't make those kind of decisions.
We lived in the RV for 9 months, and we lived in Idaho in the RV for 6 months.
Right, through the Arctic winter.
The worst winter they've ever had.
Yeah,
in these last years.
In our desert toy hauler.
So from us this year, or this season, you guys are going to see from us. We're going to show you homesteading changes that were made, how to change your own home if you have land, or even if you don't have land, into a homestead. Canning and cooking. I love to cook, so I'll hopefully show you some recipes.
We process our own chickens now. We have chicken tractors. We have 2 chicken tractors that can hold 25 to 30 birds in them at a time. That when they're done growing, we have all the processing equipment now, so we can do it ourselves. We are in a community where there's a lot of people that do that help each other out, that have the same kind of values that we do, trying to be self-sufficient and self-sustainable. Well,
if these 2 city slickers trying to be Hollywood famous can make it in the forest and change our whole life to accommodate cooking and growing our own food and raising our own animals for our kids to help us be healthier, then, you know, anyone can.
City slickers?
Yeah.
You're the city slicker. I never thought that you would ever actually, first of all, ever go camping. The chickens are flying in. I never thought that she would ever do any of the things that she's doing, like literally piecing apart chickens and sticking her hands inside of raw meat that has just gotten processed and feathers pulled out and all this stuff that it's probably...
Good. I'm good at it now.
Yeah, she's like just became this new person.
The bottom line is, I hope from this channel that you learn that, you know, any level of homesteading, any level of self-sustaining activities, that anyone can do it. And it doesn't matter if you have previously had skills. It doesn't matter if you grew up that way. I grew up in a city, I grew up in a neighborhood, and I did not have that kind of a past, so I had no idea. Jimmy, however, did grow up farming some way, and he had some animals and chickens, and I didn't have that life. So it's nice to know that, you know, you don't have to have experience to make this work for yourself, and you don't have to have experience to make it work for your kids. And your kids, absolutely everybody can adapt.
We got a lot of animals now. We got a lot of chickens, we have goats, we have dogs, we have turkeys now that we've added. We're planning on potentially having rabbits. I don't know, that's maybe for this year. Eventually, maybe we'll do pigs. I don't know, but we'll see. We can't do cows here because it's too big, but eventually I would like to do a cow or 2. I don't know if she's into that. I want to have all of our own milk and cheese, and they're expensive to feed.
Chicken just pooped right in front of me.
Boom. That's how we live. Right in view.
One other thing we're going to work on this year is actually enormous. We're going to take our 2 goats that are babies, they're getting older, and they will be able to be bred this year, and we will be able to start milking them come winter, actually.
Yeah.
So that's another big change that we're adding. Like Jimmy said, we have turkeys now. You can hear him in the background. Mr. Blue and his 2 ladies, they are gonna make eggs for us, and so we're also gonna start incubating eggs and see how that goes. And then in June or July, we're gonna get baby turkeys and raise those for our meat as well as we already do chickens for meat. So.
Right. One of the focuses that we're gonna be doing with our animal husbandry is rotational aspects of using them to prepare your land for the gardening areas. So the chickens and the turkeys and the goats are all essential for establishing these new areas where the goats are eating a lot of the root systems and things out of the ground. The chickens come in and they scratch it up and they poop everywhere, providing great fertilization on the ground. And then of course the turkeys as well, they're not as much as smart as the chickens, but we don't have as many of them right now, but they're mostly for meat. But the chickens and the goats working together are great. And then we're gonna be planting in those areas, so.
And of course we have 2 amazing dogs. The best little well, humongous livestock guardian dogs, Great Pyrenees.
A lot of our focus will always be centered around how God has really laid out this entire tapestry of our lives that he has painted so perfectly for us to have this right now. One of our biggest focuses doing all of this was because of our kids. Knowing where your food comes from, knowing what is in the chemistry of your chickens when you consume it, knowing what ground your produce grew in.
Please feel free to subscribe to our channel and hit follow so that you guys can keep track of when we put out new videos, and share with your friends, tag your friends. Follow us on our journey to go deeper into this homesteading life, because we have still so much to learn, and hopefully we can teach some things to you.